two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Media popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Slap it up and put it down. This is Eddie Collins.
Guys, this is Justin Brown, and then put it down and slap it up.
That's right. And we are media popcorn buttery niggas in your ears.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not really, we usually say media popcorn spoiling movies, but we're not really spoiling this movie because it came out in fucking like 1994.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
mm-hmm.
young Brad Pitt.
Young, virile Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt with that same hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the interview with the vampire hair and shit. This is dreamy Brad Pitt. This is this nigga came, he disappeared for years, came right on a horse with classical music. It's almost like to the point where you're like, oh, they were probably playing violins like in real time when he strode up like that. Like,
listen, this is a Brad Pitt that almost got beat up by Mike Tyson for fucking Robin Gibbons.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Is that bad Brad Pitt? His washboard abs.
Yeah, and that's back when he was like doing a bunch of little bit roles, so no one knew who Brad Pitt was quite yet.
Mm-hmm. He was in Thelma and Louise, and he was just a little boy toy.
Okay, but we're talking about Legends of the Fall, and here's the thing, Justin. This has been on the list for years. This has been on the list since we first started the show, and the reason why we never got to it is because I couldn't find the screen name. But if I can find it, I'll do like a tag on this episode and I'll call out this person. We got by we, I mean me.
Okay. Got
harassed. I'm pretty sure this is back in the time like when Mike Brown and I were doing like the Cumia show a lot of times. And the thing that he and I, even though he's a piece of shit, absolutely, he and I connected on movies.
Yeah.
So a lot of the fans connected with me because they're like, oh, man, you know a lot about movies. Dope. And one of those people was like, you guys need to do Legends of the Fall. And I was like, all right. But it's like back then when we're still getting like our footing and we're figuring out like what our cadence should be, what we should talk about. And Legends of the Fall, like I kept getting it mixed up with River Runs Through It. But no matter what, it's like a 90s movie about like white guys and water, like farms and shit. I'm like, that's
on
not
the
really
range.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not something that are like No,
Anthony Cumia, piece of shit.
Yeah. Ali, sorry to clarify. Yeah, Mike Brown is the homie. Mike Brown. I don't want everyone thinking I got beef with all my friends. No, Mike Brown is amazing.
Mike Brown, friend of the show. We share our last name. We all good.
And on the Comedy Outliers podcast, Mike Brown and I've talked about it ad nauseum about meeting Anthony Cumia, who is one of like the most famous radio voices of all time, but actually getting to be around him in a circle and like realizing, oh yeah, there's a lot of obviously problematic things outside of what he just posts on social media, which is already a fucked up thing. Yeah. But like just the fact that, and this is the issue I have with like people like Joe Rogan and stuff, is like, if you talk about things that impact Black people, but you never bring it up in front of Black people who you have on your show, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Because that means you're saying some foul shit.
Yep.
You say some foul shit. So anyways, without going, but long story, one of those followers kept hitting me up. It's like Legends of the Fall. I was like, hey man, we're gonna get to it. But it's not like our audience was at the time, our active audience wasn't like, hey niggas, do Legends of the Fall. You know that Brad Pitt movie directed by Edward Zwig?
Yo, I want a movie with nothing but white people in it.
Well, there's some Native Americans, some indigenous people. But
nothing but white people in it. Because those Native Americans, they were just scattered around in there.
Yeah.
This was a niggerless movie.
The niggerless movie. Hey, y'all need to see this movie with Julia Armand back when Hollywood thought she was the thing. It's like, all right. I mean, she looked pretty in this, but like we'll talk about her crazy ass character in a second. But yeah, like it got to the point where I'm like, hey man, we're gonna get to it when we get to it. Like it's not the number one priority, bro. And then I remember one time he posted like, it was like, our usual like, hey, this week these episodes are coming up. And he was just like, liar. And I was like, nigga, you gotta get blocked. I gotta block you now. Like, this is crazy.
But no Legends of the Fall. Fuck these guys.
But after so many years, we are finally just organically getting to Legends of the Fall.
You told them it was coming, just not when.
It was like, hey man, you gotta just wait through a pandemic and a bunch of crazy shit. But yeah, this is here's the thing about this movie. I saw the runtime and I was like 2 hours and fucking 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it is long, but it was a lot more entertaining than I thought it would be, especially because Brad Pitt goes full fucking crazy in this.
No, this nigga. Brad Pitt, this motherfucker lost his marbles. he went, whew.
I texted you. I texted you after Henry Thomas, the brother, gets lit up like a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
I get some barbed wire, and Brad Pitt then cuts out his brother's heart. I texted you. I was like, this movie took a turn,
bro.
Bro.
Like, I'm just like, yo, his brother got caught in the wire. And then those soldiers like, oh, well, look what we got here. Hey, set up the Gatling gun, nigga. Ripped his shit apart. Yeah. I'm like, well, goddamn, y'all could have just shot him once, stabbed him up. Why waste all those bullets? They shot him like 40 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like the police in Harlem.
Oh, geez. But I mean, I did write down, I was like, there's no way he would be able to talk. I know he just says like, Tristan. He just says his brother's name, but it's like, no, he's dead. Like, you don't get any.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get a moment where he wouldn't have to cut out his brother's heart because the heart would already be out of the body at the way that he got lit up.
And now, mind you, this is also World War I, so this is like 19 something, and them bullets. Oh boy, they weren't cutting through your skin all nice and
yeah. They weren't clean. They were fucking. Yeah, when you got shot back then, you were fucked up. Like the brother, like not Anthony. What's the older brother?
Samuel.
No, Alfred.
Oh yeah.
This is Alfred,
Samuel, and Alfred.
So Tristan's the oldest one? I thought Alfred was the oldest one.
No, Alfred's the oldest one. Then it's Tristan, and then Samuel.
Yeah. Because Alfred's played by Aidan Quinn or whoever, who just got cucked this whole movie by his brother. Holy moly!
Actually, not necessarily.
Well, he didn't get cut because they didn't fuck when they were together. Yeah,
that's on him.
He knew that
no.
Susanna was never gonna fucking love him.
No, that's on him. Because first of all, I've said on this podcast before, you see a woman that's your brother's girl, my homie, she is not pretty to you immediately. The fact that he was like, I saw you and I fell in love immediately, nigga, that's your problem. You fucked up for that.
Well, he also got mad at Brad Pitt because Tristan, she had a thing for Tristan immediately. Oh, and they were in a soft embrace. They didn't make out or anything like that, but she was still with Henry Thompson, Samuel's character, before they went off in the war. Yeah. Alfred sees this and immediately is jealous. And then, they go to the war. Samuel's the one that gets got. Alfred gets fucked up though. And then Tristan comes back just looking beautiful, but fucking crazy because this nigga scalped a bunch of Nazis and wore their heads on his chest and came back to his fucking camp just like, yeah, I did it and I'll do it again.
Brandon, but this motherfucker pulled the Dragon Ball Z anime move and he was just like, yo, I'm going to fight the big boss. Y'all go back. I ain't coming home yet. I ain't ready. I ain't ready. I'm gonna spend some years away because I need to process what's going on. That's some straight Goku shit right there. But then he pops up later on, just riding the horse. Everybody's like, Tristan. And she's just like, oh yeah, Tristan. And she's finger blasting herself, just ready in anticipation for Tristan's arrival. After Samuel was like, well, I've been in love with you since the day I saw you. Well, let's make this
Alfred.
happen.
You get
Alfred. I'm sorry.
Up, yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Alfred's is like, I've been in love with you since the day I saw you. I know my brother's dead now. He's not quite cold in the ground. But,
Justin, he's cold.
Huh?
He was hot for a quick second with all the bullets, but he got cold real quick in that.
On top of that, Brandon, when those guys shot his ass up like that, that nigga was blind too.
Oh yeah. He
didn't even know it was coming.
Like, Tristan.
this nigga was Ray Charles trying to grab on with some wrists to feel like, Tristan, is that you? Ah, bullets. Ah, oh.
Yeah, that's gotta suck. I did write down though. He got killed real quick after they found out he went on a secret mission.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, "Hey man, hang out with Alfred. You know he got shot. I'll be back." And then the one dude's like, "Hey, y'all saw your brother leave with that special platoon." I was like,
Tristan's just like, you motherfucker.
and the whole thing is because so Tristan put the pressure on himself to protect his brother because like, he felt guilty about the flirtation he had with Susanna. So he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make sure he gets home." Because they all enlist in the war. Even though Anthony
he
Hopkins
wasn't going to.
Yeah, but he needed
Tristan wasn't going to, but he was just like, I now I gotta go. Because
he didn't like to follow rules. He
it.
didn't like to follow orders and shit. So he was like, I don't want to do it, but I need to be there for my brothers, right? Yeah. And Anthony Hopkins is like, I seen war. You niggas are crazy. You don't have to do this. And he got that pencil. He got that mustache, looking like Zorro.
Fucking Wyatt Earp ass motherfucker.
Yo, I did write down though when he had that mustache and he had that jacket, and he came out the cabin. I was like, yo. Anthony Hopkins probably got mad pussy back then.
Yo, actually, you know, one of the things I wrote down about this fucking movie is Anthony Hopkins is by far one of the goats of acting. I mean, of all time.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Like every role I've ever seen Anthony Hopkins in, I'm just like, this nigga's just cooking.
Even in Transformers, you're like, why is Anthony Hopkins in here? I mean, he's still spinning bars, but like, why?
Cooking. Like Anthony Hopkins is like top tier. And it's like anybody, like you can't even deny that shit.
Yeah, man, that's why the Chadwick loss was so hard, because if you saw The Father, if you saw that movie,
and
me and Chris Lambert talked about it, we were like, you kind of understand why he won.
Yeah.
I love Chadwick, but you understand why he won?
Yeah, I get it. But now here's the thing, though. Now, you know, if you guys been listening to the podcast, you know Justin loves himself a good fucking war. You know, like I love war history and things like that.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, like, this is very historically accurate for that time, because so Anthony Hopkins, he was like the Spanish, the Indian War and things like that.
Yeah, he's in some old
wars
shit.
In the 1800s shit. Shit, probably a Revolutionary War and all that. So those were different kinds of wars. Fucking World War I changed up the fucking game. Like, you're going from Call of Duty to Call of Duty, like the regular shit that you played on fucking you know, the original Xbox and PlayStation, to talking about shit you're playing on a computer. And now you're playing Modern Warfare 2. Like, that's the jump that we're talking here. So, like, the brother, like Samuel, he's romanticizing this. She's like, you know, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna get my glory in this war. It seems my brothers ain't gonna let me get my glory. And then these niggas jump over a fucking dune and realize that they're just being mowed the fuck down.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, that's one thing, man. I do not, you know, I'm very thankful for when we were born. You know what I mean? Because I can't imagine being in some of these wars. Like, you think about that opening scene in Saving Private Ryan when they're in the boat, and you're not even on the beach yet, and you get mowed down.
Yeah.
Crazy
you sitting in a boat, and you can't even see it coming.
Yeah. That's why it sucked for Henry Thomas. I was like, yo, because I forgot that Henry Thomas was still out here working after E.T. for a little bit. I thought he had disappeared. And then I'm like watching all these like 90s and 2000s movies. I'm like I just saw Gangs of New York again recently. I was like, oh, that's Henry Thomas. Like, oh, he was still out here. But yeah, man, he was like, Tristan. I was like, yo, they lit him up like Sonny and the Godfather.
And you know, if I know one thing about dudes and pieces of shit dudes,
I know a lot about dudes. Justin Brown Esquire.
They shot up his dick too, and they purposely aimed for his dick. And I know that they fucking did that. He was completely exposed, wrapped up in that barbed wire, and they just said like, "Yo, let's kill him. Let's shoot his dick off." I know that they did some weird shit like that.
All right. Well, that was wild.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
What was crazy is because of that scene, though, Brad Pitt has triggers the rest of the movie. He sees a cow wrapped up in barbed wire. It's like, I gotta leave forever. Like,
first of all,
he left for like 10 years.
First of
he left
all,
this chick waiting for him.
He gets his brother up out of the barbed wire, takes him home, puts on fucking Native American war paint, and then goes back to the front line and just starts scalping niggas and bringing back scalps. I'm just like, this motherfucker done lost his mind. He's a Vietnam vet before a Vietnam vet was even thought about.
You know, timing wise, could this in theory be the same character from Inglourious Bastards?
Well, technically, it could be.
Like, it could line up where he's like already done a war, and then he's what's his name from Inglourious Bastards running that.
That's true. Group. Well, no, he would be older because his character died in this film in 1963.
Okay, yeah. So he would have. Yeah, he would have been.
But
it's just funny to thinking about that because he's like, I want my scalps in Inglourious Bastards. You know what I mean? So,
but I mean, like this nigga, he lost his so basically he got PTSD from watching his brother get killed. Yeah. But he also he
was already a wild boy though.
Yes.
They already alluded that he was kind of always kind of the crazy one that was not hot temper, but yeah.
We start the movie with this nigga cutting off a bear's finger. As a child. He catches them paws and he's just like, I'm gonna get mine's back.
Yeah, he was the opposite of Grizzly Man. He knew how to handle himself.
Mind you, it comes full circle because that bear gets his retribution.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the hubris of a white man thinking he could fight a grizzly bear. That's the thing that makes the Grizzly Man so funny. And folks, listen to our Grizzly Man review on Patreon. It's we play so many clips because it's so insane. Because do you know the hubris in a man to believe that you can control an animal like a grizzly bear?
Yeah.
That's like trying to it's as insane. People think if I were to say trying to control a lion, people be like, that's fucking crazy, Brandon. No one ever tried to do that. But it's the same thing with a grizzly bear. Baloo from the Jungle Book fucked it all up for kids because bears are dangerous motherfuckers. They're not singing bare necessities. They're eating your bare essities. You know what I mean?
Because they eat you from the ass. So they're eating your bare ass, and they work their way because they start at the hide. That's where all the meat is.
Do they really start at the ass?
Yes.
No, they don't. You alive. They don't really start. Do. I know they eat you alive, but they don't really start at your butt.
Yes, they do, because that's the raw hide. There's a lot of good meat there. They're going for the good shit first.
Oh, the black women and Dominicans need to stay away from bears. What? They got them fat asses, you know.
So,
but there's so much blubber. It's not even the good meat. It's just fattening.
Well, I mean, but you also got to think about a bear is eating for hibernation and things like that.
I got a question about hibernation. Did we talk about this before in Grizzly Man? But hibernation is when bears eat a lot and stuff their ass, basically, so they can hang out in a cave for 3 months, right?
Yeah.
I told that to Tati one time, and she thought I basically told her that we live on the moon. She looked at me like I was the craziest nigga alive for saying that.
Yeah, so they eat excess food.
Yeah. So it stuffs themselves, right? So they're they don't have to eat for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, this is what happens when you trust somebody don't research nothing.
Okay. So the thing is with bears, big cats, they don't want to fight. So they're gonna go right for your throat, take you out. And then they're gonna munch. Bears just nigga, I got you.
Yeah, that's why
they go Wanda. I got you. I got you.
That's why that bear was fucking up Leo and the Revenant. He wasn't he didn't immediately try to kill him. It was hey, I'm gonna slap you around and fuck you all up, nigga.
They play with their food. And now the thing is, so you getting fucked up by or a bear rolls up on you, and you think that your little pocket knife is gonna get it done. Nah, nigga, that motherfucker is 1,000 pounds.
I know, but white guys think they could do it. That reminds me of that bit from the Boy Scout episode of The Simpsons. Remember when that nigga tried to Homer stole his pocket knife, but the dude's trying to fight a bear. He's like, I got my pocket knife, kids. Don't worry. It's just oh, I don't have it.
Oh God.
But okay, yeah, Tristan's always been a wild boy. And then he gets even crazier. And so the whole time we have this woman who's like intertwined with all these brothers, Shoshana, who's played by Julia Ormond. And we meet her initially when she's engaged to Samuel. But it's very clear that Samuel is probably a little bit too hoity-toity for her. She likes a little bit of adventure because they haven't had sex.
No, Samuel is Samuel's he's like he's
very proper.
He's an intelligent. He's like the
intellectual.
The intellectual. There you go. He's the intellectual. He's not the manly man. Tristan is the manly man of the group, and then you have Alfred. He's like the good in between. Of everybody.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's smart enough to be able to like move politically, but he's also a little gritty where he gets his hands dirty sometimes, especially at the end. I was like, oh, this is a family affair. They just lit those niggas up. They killed law enforcement.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna lie. The last third of this movie got me fucking emotional, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
This shit got me emotional.
Why? Because they've been killing all those law enforcement people and
yeah, you kill me a cop. No.
Okay, Ice-T.
No, I guess it's the fact is like that guy killed his wife.
Yeah, that was wild.
That
was a little girl from the beginning, right?
Yes.
All grown up.
Yes, she was 20 when they got married.
I was wondering how old she was.
Therefore, this nigga had to be about like maybe I'd say
40, right?
What? 22. No, he was like 22 at the beginning of the movie. I'm just spitballing.
Oh, yeah. So like at that point, he's like in his 40s, right?
Oh, yeah, when they get married.
I wrote down, I was like, how old is Brad Pitt compared to her now?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, they're like playing, like he's not going to get aged up, but like he's supposed to be significantly older now.
Yes. Now,
because he was going for a long fucking time.
The other part about that is they were raised like in the same house. That's almost like his little sister.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm going to marry that man.
As a little girl, she said.
As a little girl. So she was after it. But at the same time, bro, that's a nah. That's a nah for me.
Yeah.
Especially if listen,
the actress is beautiful though. I will say, who played Isabel too. The actress is beautiful.
Oh no, she's Isabel number one in my heart. Fuck the mama. She's the one. But like I was kind of just like, man, I don't know about that. But then again, this is also there's slim pickings, out west.
Yeah, that had to hurt for Shoshana though, because she's pining after this nigga. He literally is like, one day just like, I'm gonna leave, and then she's like, I'll wait for you forever. And I was like, like, do you know how good his dick must have been for her to say, I'll wait for you for a lifetime?
Oh yeah, he was putting. You know what? He was taking all that scrimp, all that hate and trauma from the war out on that.
Yeah, that was.
He was the bear eating her from the back.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I will say that was Jesus Christ. Oh Lord. One thing I did write down was that Julia Ormond did a really good job portraying her heartbreak when she later sees Tristan and Isabel too with their kids.
Yeah.
And they named them after the kids that they were going to name them, right? Samuel for her son and Isabella for her daughter, right?
No, I don't think the daughter was named Isabel.
Oh, okay. Oh, because she is Isabel. Yeah, that's right. But the son was named Samuel after the brother.
Yes.
And I wrote down, I was like, Julia Ormond's doing a really good job portraying this because Shoshana couldn't have kids, I'm imagining, right?
Yeah,
she had a very big thing about like she wanted to give him a family because she was like, if you wouldn't leave if I were pregnant or if we had kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could have been a case that she just wanted it too much, and obviously there's no love between her and Alfred, so I don't even know if they probably fucked.
Well, no. They alluded to like they were trying, but it just wasn't working, and then I think that's why she lost her mind. because it seemed like, because Alfred did say that, hey, have you seen your doctor, whatever. So I think that they're alluding to she was
fertility
sick.
issues. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was fertility issues. I think it
Okay.
was mental health issues.
Well, yeah, I mean, the best dick of her life just up and disappeared one day. He said he was gonna be back in a few months, and nigga, he was gone for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Came back looking the same, like a fucking vampire. I would have been concerned. I would have been so scared. And then everyone just the horses just are running in the field. And it's almost like one of the farm hands is like, Tristan. I was like, Nick, how? What's going on? Oh, and then that nigga went crazy. He was traveling the world, and then he had the voiceover. I have become a hunter. I was like, God damn, he went full Colonel Kurtz.
Bro, this motherfucker was laid up in a bed, and he's like screaming, and like Native American dudes are holding down. It's like, calm down, Tristan. Calm down. Exercise the demons. It's like, ah. Yeah.
Justin's a pretty good reenactment of it. It was kind of crazy. There's some really weird parts in this movie, y'all. Like,
oh yeah,
it's like a straight Western that like has hokey music at times, but there's some wild shit in this. Like the third act is like essentially a gangster movie for some reason.
Oh yeah,
about bootlegging and politics. And then Brad Pitt, like you said, after the wife when she gets shot, it wasn't accidental because they were trying to send a message. They weren't intentionally trying to kill her, but they were trying to intimidate him.
Yeah, trying to intimidate him, but it ricocheted off the rocks.
Yeah, and then
ricochet off the rocks.
Yeah, and then Brad Pitt essentially is like, oh.
Well, okay. First of all,
y'all gonna get war
down.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
with
he
a butt of a
that
gun.
dude up. Yeah,
yeah. He's like he almost died, and then his brother tells him after his wife was killed, is like, you're gonna have to go to jail for 30 days. And what about him is like, yeah, he's been given a stern.
He's been reprimanded. Yeah, he got reprimanded. He said,
like, nah, bro, and it's like. See, so this is the thing that got me all choked up about this movie.
Okay.
Because when Elizabeth II died, I was just
Isabel
like,
II.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Elizabeth II. Fuck. Yeah, Isabel II died. I was just like, oh fuck, they're gonna bring the bear back out of him because he's just like gotten himself in a good place, and it's just like, oh shit, now he's gonna go off the fucking reservation. Which he didn't because of his children. In my head, I was like, he did it because he has children. It's just like, I can't do that shit anymore.
I mean, he still ended up killing some people.
No, but he needed his retribution. But yeah. I don't think that's. I think that's a thing where everybody wanted that retribution, because also you got to put in, like, he's more in tune with with his Native American kind of side, because he was kind of raised by Native Americans, and they were just like, this is what they do. They kill us and nothing happens with it. He was just like, oh no, something's going to happen today, because Isabella II's father and the grandfather were in on that whole thing. Like, we going to kill these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get. So like, that's more of like a family thing. I mean, like that was something bigger than just
it. Literally became a family thing. I mean, because also like Anthony Hopkins' character, he, like, his close friends are like Native Americans on their land, and there's that scene like where Brad Pitt, like, where you get more of that, PTSD Brad Pitt, like, who can't control his anger at the bar where they won't serve him because he's Indian. Yeah, and he's like, he's just like us, fucking, like, fucking serve him, and
then he beats that guy up with a fucking billy club.
Yeah, and he's involved, like, he's ingrained in the culture and stuff. But I mean, they were saying comments about the kids too. They were calling them half breeds and stuff. But yeah, it was like very much we're going to get square with these dudes. That's why I feel like Alfred joined in on it eventually, because one, he had kind of he kind of done things that went against the family.
Yes.
And so not including Mary Shoshana, when he knew damn well she didn't love him, and that would hurt Tristan, right? Yeah. But then that's why at the end he does get involved with killing niggas, even though he's a congressman. Well, because,
but so that's the thing, is just like, so like my dad, it's all about like, hey, you guys are brothers, yada yada.
Yeah.
you have to look out for each other. You look out for your family and things like that. And seeing Alfred like that, I'm just like, yo, nigga, you are not brothering right now. You are so anti-family, and you are like, you are literally fucking over your family like every step of the way. And then the fact is that he comes full circle to come and get and kind of finally shows up and being a brother like that shit, yo. When that nigga got shot, and all of a sudden I saw Alfred over there, I'm like, yes, Alfred. Like I got excited.
Yeah, it got weird. And I feel like for me, that's where I'm kind of like curious about where I'm going to end up with my rating, because I'm like, damn, this was long, but you have to go through all the slow family burn and drama to get to that point where you're like, oh yeah, this is dope that they're all like doing this together. Like, because Anthony Hopkins at this point has had a stroke. He's all fucked up. He can't talk.
This
he
nigga
pulls
writing
out
on
a fucking shotgun.
Chalkboard. Hold on. This nigga's wearing a chalkboard around his neck and writing on it, but his writing is like that of like the color purple. It's like, I am happy. MISTER period. Yo, when he came out and he starts writing on it. Now, mind you, he's writing backwards, which is quite an accomplishment, because that was very, very legible. But he wrote "am happy." I was just like, nigga.
I mean, he has stroke, bro.
I know, but
I've had family members that have had strokes, and they had a really hard time communicating. It's not pretty, man.
I know he's going straight. Listen, I'm not making fun of the people who've had strokes.
It's just the acting. It's the acting that
it was but he did a great job with those scenes.
Oh, so you're just laughing at the disability. that's what you're saying, you piece of shit.
No, he did a great job with those scenes. But like when I watched him write that thing on there and it said "am happy." Now, mind you, he's an intellectual man. He basically educated Elizabeth too. Why keep on calling this bitch Elizabeth?
I don't know. You got Elizabeth in your mind. Don't let Paula hear this episode.
Isabella too. So like he educated her and everything like that.
He did.
Well, he educated her into a fine woman for Tristan.
He educated her mama probably. They seem like they were all fucking the adults.
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
Well, because
they're all blended family. It was like the Brady Bunch.
So this is the thing. It's weird because the Anthony Hopkins character, he was basically Alfred in his life as well,
like following the rules and all that stuff.
No. He was Alfred in the sense is just like, and I believe somebody actually said it. I think Alfred actually said it to him. He's like, you were in a marriage where you weren't.
Oh, that's why the mom left. The mom left. She said the winters were too harsh.
Yeah, but I guess he lived his life like Alfred for most of his life, and then he eventually hit a point where he's just like, fuck this shit, and then he went full on Tristan. So I feel like like he understands where Alfred's coming from, but he is more like, I think I guess he's Alfred, in like his being, but he really is Tristan at this point in his life because he's seen how the world treats people, because he was very upset watching the Trail of Tears as they're pushing Native Americans off their land and things like that, and that's why he left the military. He's like, the government is just all about fucking people over. So like that's why I like this movie so much, because there's so many little things character wise that build these characters up to where you get to the end and you just like, you understand everything and why he was just like, yo, once Alfred started going against the family more and more and wasn't supporting his brother, it was doing all this bullshit, he's like, yo, that motherfucker, I don't fuck with him anymore. He can't come around. I don't want to see him. And then at the end, he's just like, you finally came home, man. You finally fucking came home. I was like, that shit, like that father and son embrace. I was just like, oh God, like that fucking just hit. That fucking hit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there were some really good moments in this movie, and then there was some wild shit. Like I gotta go back to Samuel's death, where he got lit up, and Brad Pitt's like, "You're doing good." I was like, "Nick,
You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. It's the tip of my dick still there. No.
Jesus Christ, why you keep talking about this man's
I don't know what's wrong with me, Brandon.
Brad Pitt, he's like, he cut out his heart because that was the only thing left of his body.
Yeah, that's the only thing left intact.
He's like, "God damn you, God." I was like, "Oh boy."
Yeah, when he stabbed into him, I'm just like, wait, what are he doing with this? And he came out with the heart. I was just like, oh no. And he put it in a box and took that home. He's like, we're gonna bury his heart. It's like,
yeah, that's so. If a nigga comes back covered in blood and tells you like your bunk bed in the army, he tells you, "Yeah, I got my brother's heart in this box. I'm taking it back." You ain't gonna ask no questions. You're not gonna fight him. You just gonna go back to sleep and pretend this didn't happen.
Yo, and in the morning, y'all gonna see me riding out on my horse. Where are you going? I ain't fucking with that nigga. That nigga crazy.
The brothers would be in the same group, right?
No.
Back then?
No.
They wouldn't? Okay, because I'm like, because what
Tristan was in another unit. He left his unit because he was just like, I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna be with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So basically, the way it actually worked, they wouldn't have taken Samuel. They wouldn't have taken all three brothers. Because they didn't want to destroy the complete bloodlines. So if they had three sons, only two could go.
Then how come in Saving Private Ryan? Because that's based off a real story.
That they weren't. So I guess it also depends. Well, this is the way it was tried to be done. So it also depends how old the father is. Do they have any other siblings? Yada yada yada. Can they create another? So like they were trying not to completely destroy bloodlines. With all of this stuff. So they would, in most cases, they would not take all of the brothers into war. But then again, as like World War II broke out and things like that, that was such a big war. They're just like, nigga, get over here. But in this war,
good. Oh, baby water in the bathtub. Oh, how about you, Yay?
Okay. But like, I think in World War One, it was like what was it the Civil War and things like that. They were really trying to not kill off generations.
Got it. Well, it don't matter because these niggas. I mean, they all. Samuel got it. But the rest of them lived for a while. They lived full lives.
Yeah.
It seemed.
No, they all did.
Because but Tristan was gonna get lit up if Daddy Warbucks had to come out with a fucking gun hidden under his mink coat.
Bro, they were gonna do some wild shit then.
Oh yeah, they were gonna just kill him. They were gonna fucking cut off his balls one by one.
Yeah, they were gonna mutilate him. They were gonna really. He's like, you take me into the woods. I don't want my son to see it. And nothing good happens in the woods between a bunch of men.
No. What the fuck's wrong with you today?
Yo, well,
you're in a dark corner of your house, just with the darkest fucked up thoughts.
No, because when it really comes down to it, this time frame in America, actually in humanity, was super fucking dark.
Yeah, niggas were bored. They had plenty of time to think about ideas. What I would do with a knife.
Yo, they're living in fucking Montana.
Yeah.
What do people do in Montana?
Yeah, they just fuck, drink,
they kill each other and they fuck, right? And like these guys, take this guy into the woods under the understanding that you're not coming out. They're gonna get real, and he killed their brother. Like, listen, I guess it's the fact is like I've seen people get into fights over shit, pure vendetta, and I've seen people go overboard, and it's like they're in like this sadistic headspace, right? Now, I can't imagine if they had the full authority to just murder people, how bad that would get. Like, people get somebody in a precarious situation and they have all the power, and then they're stomping on people and doing things. Like, clearly it's just like, now you're just out for blood. Like, imagine somebody's just like, oh, we can kill people and there is nothing. Like, that's when you get to the point where it's just like, oh yeah, all the weird shit's gonna happen because they're enjoying this. I guess that's the reason I'm just like, oh yeah, this is gonna get real bad quick. And these are also white dudes, because we know how white dudes get down.
Oh yeah. They'd be like, I'm gonna see what happens when I stick this in the booty. Things like that. Yeah.
That's, you know what? Usually I'd be like, God damn, Brandon, you and the butt stuff, but like, that's not far
that's
from
for real.
true.
That's for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
what Abadou Diallo, like that, like come on, bro, like what are y'all
and
doing?
They're gonna be like, we're gonna talk to y'all in that fucked up accent that you and your brothers have. Is it British? Is it Irish? No one knows, but I'm gonna fuck you to it. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna get weird.
I'm gonna fuck you to
It'll be so weird.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, Brad Pitt looked bad creepy when he popped up with Shoshana. After years, and she's married to his brother, he popped her like, hey.
Oh, this nigga looked like a vampire. He literally looked like a vampire. Like, I thought that she was gonna be looking out, and then she sees him, and then the nigga was just gonna like walk away. She was just like, wait, is that Tristan back, or was that an apparition? Because the way he was looking, he was just like.
And what's so wild, man? I thought she was gonna try to kill the wife. The way that she got distraught when she heard that Tristan was getting married.
Oh yeah.
She's it just like immediately the tears just popped out her eyes and shit.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man.
And then fucking Alfred comes back. He's like, yeah, I saw Tristan. Wait, you saw him without me? He's just like, yeah, he came here to talk to you, but he figured it probably wasn't a good idea because you'd probably get upset, which he was right, because you are. Yeah. It's like, well, what did he say? He said, you know, he said hello and congratulations. He's just like, oh, look at that. My brother's better than me.
Yeah, but then like, when they saw Tristan and his wife later on with the kids, and then Alfred's walking away with Shoshana, and she looks back like, I was like, yo, if I'm her husband, I know the way she is crying, looking back at the love of her life. I know, man, this ain't for me. This ain't it.
No, she don't. She ain't for me,
bro.
She's for Tristan.
Do you know how tragic that is, man?
Yeah, man.
We have one life, and you are like, and I get love is tough, man. Love is deep, but you are in love with someone that like just will never ever reciprocate that feeling, and is pining for your brother who, and I think Aiden Quinn did a great job with that quick monologue to Tristan about, I was the rule follower, Samuel was the young one, you're like the guy that never follows the rules, and everyone loves you.
Yeah, and everybody loves you for it.
Everyone loves you. She loves you. Dad loves you. Like Samuel loves you. And it's like that, and that's some Fredo shit.
No, that's being a sibling, bro. That's a family dynamic that I think most people who have siblings in some way, shape, or form, that's there. And so I mean, and that's the thing. Like, it's so real, and and I guess it's weird because, like, watching this film, I saw myself in different stages of this. Because like you can kind of see yourself in different characters. Like I saw myself in parts of me in different characters of it. But then essentially at the end, I'm just thinking it was just like, it's actually it was actually just like the thought pattern behind this whole movie and like where it put me. It was just like, it made me think about, it's like, I need to make sure that I give both of my sons the same kind of love and attention to make sure that they don't hate each other like this, and like really, promote and congratulate their differences and like why they are so special in the things that they do.
What are the key differences right now that you've noticed?
Oh, Jackson's fucking smart as shit. Like Jackson's he's really intelligent. He also, like, the way that Jackson thinks and processes is like he processes further ahead than his age. Axel is the Tristan. He's the wild child. He's like the smilest face. Like everybody loves Axel. So it's like that's the thing. It's like I'm dealing with these two. Like I have that kind of dynamic in my family, and like I feel like part of it is the fact is like I understand Jackson because I'm kind of like that. I think Jackson's a little bit, a little bit further along than I am.
Pay attention what Justin say. He's like, I'm smart beyond my ears.
No. Like I process things. But
that's
Axel,
your son, baby. You know,
but he's part me, part Paula. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he got like the good part.
I think he's part Paula and part John Legend, if you ask me. But that's just
how dare you? But then Axel is the wild child that I was. So like I understand how to deal with Axel. I know what that is. Like,
I know this song, baby.
Oh yeah, baby. I sang it all day.
You lay upstairs, that's what you're saying. You're like, I know what you're thinking right now. You think I'm gonna shake this nigga's hand and then he will get mad. But guess what? I'm already ahead of you because my hands are already covered in shit.
No, like Axel's a kid, like you can't stay mad at. Everything's with a smile, whatever. Like he's just whatever. It's
that is true. I've never stayed mad at you more than 10 seconds. I just realized that. It was never as many like we've never had like a fight or anything. Like we've never actually had a fight or anything. We've had some disagreements.
No. Yeah.
But like we've never had like a fight. But I've even then I've never been like angry at you more than like a minute. Well, I will immediately forget. Oh yeah, there's Justin. Hey, Justin.
Well, because it's also like I'm not a complete another dick. Just gonna come after you for no fucking reason. But so like, watching this movie, it just really made me think. I was like, I gotta make sure that like I don't pit my sons against each other, which I think is very easy as a parent.
But do you think Anthony Hopkins did that though? I don't think he did. I think if they were all just separately broken by the mom leaving. Like that had such a different impact on each one of them. And that was the catalyst for like, them kind of.
But you also, but as a parent, you have to see that, and then you have to work around that, and you have to.
I mean, this is 1910. They didn't have no therapy.
It doesn't matter. You're a dad. You're managing a household. So it's like you have to give them their individual play it at their individual fields at times. It's like you can't just do one broad stroke for everyone. So like that
just stroke it away.
I mean, you can.
Like Brad Pitt.
Oh no, he didn't stroke it away. He fucking carved niggas' scalps off. That's how he got to do this shit.
Also, I gotta say, Brad Pitt probably his character. Let's be real. He had babies all over the world. The amount he was probably fucking back then.
I honestly don't think so.
No, you don't think when he was a hunter, he wasn't hunting some puss?
I don't think so. I think he was. I think that he was just in a really fucking bad place. I think he was in a really bad place for a long time, and that was on his mind. Because honestly, I think he was chasing death.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think he was chasing death, but for some reason it wasn't coming for him. And then the next time the death came around, it didn't come for him. It came for the things that he loves. So like, that's like the cruelty and the tragedy of this story, which is like, it's going to catch up to you one way or another. And most likely it's not the way you think it's going to be.
This ain't gonna go the way you think it is. Lluvia in the chat. And remember, folks, when you sign up at Patreon at patreon.com/mediapopcorn, you're able to join us live when we're recording these episodes. Ask, do you regret not reviewing this movie earlier now? So here's the fucked up thing. Kinda. Yeah. We're gonna get to our ratings in a second, but kinda. I mean, that fucked up dude might have been wrong to something.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, you need to review it because it's that good.
But you know what? At the same time, we there's a lot of context and things like that we wouldn't have got.
Oh yeah, that was like
7
something years ago.
Yeah, so it's like no, like it's for me, it hit me.
You didn't have your sons, you didn't have your sons yet.
Yeah. So it hit me at the perfect time, as this child's turning into a monster. and he's turning into Tristan, and he's running off into the woods like this is fucking 300 chasing bears and cutting off fingers.
Has he done anything weird yet, like Jackson used to, where Jackson just like,
what do you mean?
Show you like a cup of shit or something like that?
Bro, Jackson was just excited. He's like, look, I pooped in the potty. That's kids do that. Like that was a proud moment for him. He's like, look what I did. I did it. I mean, Axel did poop in the potty recently. I was very proud of him. He was just like,
now he thinks he can fight a bear.
Yeah, right. No, Axel does not fuck around with animals. We were at a party and somebody's dog came out. And that dog, it wasn't that big, but it's the size of Axel because it's so small. Axel looked and he just started. They were like, it was a pool party, whatever. This motherfucker was just running, shirt off, just he was like Ricky running down the fucking alley, running towards me. Never seen him run that fast.
Did he jump into the pool though?
No, he ran right towards me. He's like, get that motherfucking gorilla away from me.
That would have been hilarious if he ran to the pool and started swimming and you just like, oh my God. I have an Olympic swimmer on my hands. All right. Well, Justin, break down our rating system, baby.
Stop calling me baby. Guys, so you know how we do this. We rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any popcorn, we throw it into the dog shit pile. We pile piles and piles of dog shit on top of it. So, guys, we sat down and we watched Legends of the Fall, a 1994 American epic starring Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins, Aidan Quinn, Julia Ormond, and Henry Thomas. Brandon, what say you, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a large. I'm gonna give this a large. I was pleasantly surprised. It's still a little long and it's a little slow, but the payoff is impressive. I was very happy with the third act. Yeah. I was like, oh, they killing niggas. Oh, okay. Oh, Anthony Hopkins came out with a gun. Okay. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this. Yeah. You know, and my note started off with like one of my first notes was, I know Justin is hating this because I'm like, oh, it's slow. The music's kind of hokey. It's like, where's this going? All these brothers want to fuck this woman. Like, I'm just like, this isn't what we've been reviewing the past few years. It's like, oh, Justin's gonna be like, oh God. But then at the end, I wrote down, this is way better than I thought it'd be. So this is a pleasant surprise. It's very white, as you mentioned at the very top of this episode. There's not much diversity here.
Yep.
But from a storytelling point, yeah, I enjoyed it. What say you, Justin?
So you know, just to the point that you were making at the beginning, the thing that worried me, I was just like, oh, I'm about to watch a movie that's about a bunch of brothers, you know, pining over and then wanting to kill each other over a woman, a family being broken, you know, torn apart, you know, all for the love of some random girl. Which
You're
I'm
telling
just like,
me apart, Shoshana.
I didn't want that. I'm just like, oh, that's not what I wanted. But then once we got into the war and once I realized, oh, they're going to World War II, then I knew, oh, this shit's about to get crazy. Because I understood because I know what came with World War I, not World War II. I know what came with that. So I was like, oh, this shit's about to get nuts, especially the way they built up Tristan as being like a fucking psychopath. So I was just like, oh yeah, this is about to get crazy. With that being said, I'd say the first 20 minutes where I was just like, where is this going? And then after that, I was completely locked in to this film. And I very much enjoyed it. I think Anthony Hopkins, I don't know if he won. He should have won something for this. He did an amazing job.
Sex pot. I'm telling you, when he came out that cabin, man, with that jacket, I was like, yo, you look. They shot him like the director and the cinematographer probably like, yo, that's a shot I'm always gonna remember.
Yeah, he like listen. These guys really put in the work on this. I'm giving this an XL. And then like just the way it hit. It just the way this hit and like on the different levels, I really enjoyed this film.
I really have a feeling that nigga is gonna hit me up on Twitter under a different username and be like, "Do you believe me now?" After he hears this episode,
all of these years.
Yeah. I mean, this movie did win 3 Oscars, so
Yeah.
Not for acting or anything, but yeah, cinematography was one of them. But folks, that's our review on Legends of the Fall.
Mm-hmm.
Man, dreamy Brad Pitt. Before we knew that he beat people.
He beat people?
Yeah, apparently that's like the whole Angelina Jolie thing blew up.
Oh, because he beat the kids?
Yeah, he got. I guess he had some drinking problems, and he got a little handsy. So
Sometimes you gotta beat them kids, baby. Beat the
yeah.
babies.
The views of Justin Brown do not reflect the views of Media Popcorn or Brandon Collins or Eddie Collins, for that matter. That's right. I go by 2 different names. All right, Justin, tell the people how they can follow you, baby.
Stop calling me baby. Guys, you can follow me at J Brown Did It on all the socials. And of course, you can support this show, Medium P. Sorry. We fucked up here today. Patreon.com/medium popcorn. We have $2, $5, $10, and $15 packages on there. So if you love this show, that's where you need to go. Again, that's patreon.com/medium popcorn. Brandon, tell them all your things.
Yeah, y'all can follow me at Frodo_Blackens. You know what it is. Leave a 5-star review on your favorite podcast application, and we will read it on the show. And again, patreon.com/medium popcorn. That's where the party's at. Come and get some of that. All right, Joe. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.